Hey, sports card fans, it's John, Wade Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well and hope you're all having a very Merry Christmas. This is my weekly video series in which I choose my top 5 favorite cards of a particular player. Now, at the end of last week's video, I spun the wheel of names and it chose Brooks Robinson. So for the cards that I had to choose from, I went with PSA's basic registry set. Now, that checklist includes his 1957 Topps rookie card all the way up to his 1978 Topps record breaker card, and also includes his 1960 Leaf card and his 1963 Flair card. In all, there are 24 cards to choose from, so it didn't make things easy for me to try to pick my top 5 cards, but it made things a little bit easier in that on 2 occasions, Topps decided to use the same image of Brooks Robinson for their cards. In 1963 and 1964, they used the same image, and then they used another image of Brooks Robinson for his 1967 and 1969 cards. So that helped whittle things down a little bit for me, but it was still really hard to pick my top 5 favorite Brooks Robinson cards, but I think I did a pretty good job. Now, here's where I want you to participate as well. In the description of this video, I will have a link to the PSA Basic Set Registry Checklist for Brooks Robinson, and you can see all 24 cards that make up that checklist. So I want you to let me know in the comments, out of those 24 cards, which are your top 5 favorite Brooks Robinson cards, and number them 1 through 5, 1 being your most favorite Brooks Robinson card and number 5 being your 5th favorite Brooks Robinson card. And then in next week's video, I'll do a compilation of all those votes and let you know as a group which are your top 5 favorite Brooks Robinson cards. Now, last week's episode was on Roy Campanella, and there were a good number of you that put in the comments which are your top 5 favorite Roy Campanella cards. So I'll do a summary of those results. Then I'll go over my top 5 favorite Brooks Robinson cards. Then I'll show off some of the Brooks Robinson cards I have in my collection, and we'll wrap things up with me spinning the wheel of names again to see which player I'll be focusing on for next week. All right, 13 of you replied in the comments with your top 5 Roy Campanella cards, and here are the top 5 vote getters. All 13 of you listed his 1951 Bowman card as one of your top 5 favorite. 10 of you voted for his 1956 card. 9 of you voted for his last playing days card, his 1957 Topps card. And 8 of you voted for both his 1953 Bowman card and his 1953 Topps card. Out of all the cards on his basic registry set, the only one not to receive a vote was his 1954 Bowman card. Now, some of you voted for his Stahl-Meyer and Wilson Franks cards, which are great looking cards, but unfortunately not part of his PSA basic registry set. So out of these top 5 vote getters, how did you rank those cards? Well, in total, coming in at number 5, you voted for his 1953 Bowman card. Now, I had that as my number 3 card. At number 4, you voted for his 1957 Topps card. I had that as my 5th favorite card. At number 3 came the 1953 Topps card. I actually had that as my number 1 favorite Roy Campanella card. At number 2, you said his 1956 Topps card was your 2nd favorite card. I had that at number 4. And the consensus was his 1951 Bowman card was your favorite Roy Campanella card. I had that card at number 2. All right, let's get into my favorite Brooks Robinson cards. Again, we're going off the PSA Basic Set Registry, consisting of 24 cards from 1957 to 1978. At number 5, I chose his 1960 Topps card. I know up to this point, for the players that I've taken a look at, often I've chosen their 1960 Topps cards somewhere within my top 5 favorite. Just like this image, this dual image actually, of Brooks Robinson on his 1960 Topps card. Great image there, and the other black and white image there off to the side. And just the dual color there, even though it's a black and white with the Baltimore Orioles and sort of a blue bottom border there. I just think overall the card looks really great. So I put that at number 5 on my list. At number 4, I went with his 1961 Topps card. Now this one, I was debating between his 1961 and 1962 Topps card for my top 5 favorite. I decided not to go with his 1962 Topps card. It's a really nice card. I love the uniform on that, but it's more of just a portrait image. This one here shows that great Orioles logo on the sleeve of his uniform, and just an overall cool batting stance image there of Brooks Robinson. And again, that basic clean design of the 1961 Topps set. At number 3, I chose his 1957 Topps rookie card. Just that a young image there of Brooks Robinson, the clean design of the 57 Topps set, and just that hint of a smile that Brooks Robinson was known for. So I put his rookie card at my number 3 spot. At number 2, I chose his 1965 Topps card. And the reason why I chose this card and ranked it so high was just the smile there on Brooks Robinson's face. The design there of the 65 Topps card with the Orioles team in the banner there with the orange. And I think it just offsets it well with the border there in a gray color. Just accentuates, I think, the image there of Brooks Robinson. Again, that famous smile of Brooks Robinson. And at number 1, I chose as my most favorite Brooks Robinson card is his 1973 Topps card. Obviously, Brooks Robinson was known for his defense, and I think this is the only card that actually shows him fielding. So that's why I chose his 1973 Topps card as my number 1 favorite Brooks Robinson card. Just looks like he's getting ready to make a play at third base and throwing the runner out. And you see the design there on the 73 Topps set of that little outline of a player. That almost looks like Brooks Robinson going to dive for a ball to make a play over to first base. So, yep, the 1973 Topps card is the one that I chose as my most favorite Brooks Robinson card. Okay, I actually thought I had a few more Brooks Robinson cards in my collection, but I have a small little collection, so we'll go in chronological order here. My oldest Brooks Robinson card is his 1961 Topps card, which I did put in my top 5. Again, just love the overall image there of Brooks Robinson. I have this one in a PSA 5. Normally for these types of cards, I go in a PSA 4, but for a lot of Brooks Robinson cards, they're not super expensive. So I found this really nice, well-centered PSA 5 copy and decided to pick it up. Here is the back of it. So there's one. Here's his 1971 Topps card. So I jumped all the way from 1961 to 1971. Not the most flattering image of Brooks Robinson. Not quite sure why Topps chose this image definitely looks like he either hopefully just fouled the ball off or swung and missed. So again, not in my opinion, not the best image of Brooks Robinson there. This is in a PSA 4, but I love the centering of it. So the grade did not matter, and not much chipping there on the black border of the card. Here's the back of it. Really nice back as well. I mean, to me, this is a great looking technical PSA 4 graded card. I'm sure if I looked really closely, I could find some flaws in it, but man, overall, to me, that's a great looking card. All right, the next one, jumping to his 1974 Topps card. Again, basic, just image there, not necessarily posed portrait. Just like looks like they took that maybe beginning of the game, maybe batting practice, things like that. This one is in a PSA 6. Here's the back. So overall, sharp looking card for his 74. Next, I have his 1975. You can see he has that AL All-Star third base sort of star there down in the corner that Topps used in the 75 set to designate the All-Star players for selected players from the previous year. Fairly decent color combination for the 75 with the uniform. I think overall the colors are nice on it. This is actually a PSA 7 copy. Here's the back. There's my 75. I have another 75. It's the MVP sort of subset within the set there. There's his 64 Topps card. And again, it's the same image that they used. I think maybe the focus or how close the image is in the card differs slightly, but I'm pretty sure it's the same image that they used in his 1963 Topps card. This is in a PSA 7, along with Ken Boyer for the National League MVP in 1964. And there's just a little bio for each of them. And next, and well, actually, finally, I have his 1978 record breaker. This is part of my Hall of Fame run, which now I have to get the Dave Parker to recomplete my Hall of Fame cards from the 78 set. This one is in a PSA 8. Most consecutive seasons with one club. And there's the back, 23rd season in a Baltimore uniform. I'm not sure if that record has since been broken. If you know, let me know in the comments. Would love to know if that record has been broken since he set it in 1977. So there you go, my Brooks Robinson cards in my collection. All right, here is the wheel of names. So I'm going to spin the wheel here and see which player I'll be focusing on for next week. You can see the remaining names off this list. I started with 40, mainly Hall of Famers, and those are some of the remaining names. So let's spin it and see which player is selected. And it's going to be Eddie Matthews. All right, another excellent player that I'm going to enjoy looking through all his cards. It will most likely be, again, his basic set registry. Would include most likely some Bowman and his Topps cards. And again, don't forget to check out the description of this video where I'll have the link to the PSA basic set registry checklist for Brooks Robinson. And we'd love to know in the comments what are your top 5 favorite Brooks Robinson cards. And with that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.